Hello there, Ray here, and the latest snapshot for 1.14 is out. This is the first one for Java. This is 18W43A, and with this comes an insane amount of changes to the game. So much cool stuff to look at, as well as all the stuff they talked about in Minecon, and so much more, as you can see behind me. I'll be going over all the different changes that they talked about, as well as talk about some of the cool things that you can do with these new changes. And if you guys like to go into more detail about this thing, I will be doing more videos about this, going into more detail. As well, I will be streaming tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I may even start a little bit early just because of all the crazy stuff that we can look into with this snapshot. So check out my stream tonight, and I'll see all you guys there. They changed out all the textures in the game, as you can see, even the blocks. Pretty much they added in that texture that they were working on. If you have been playing around with this new texture pack, you can kind of see that some things have been tweaked a little bit more. So these textures are now considered the default textures. In the snapshot, they added in the new Pillagers, as well as the Pillager beast, which is crazy looking. Look at this thing, he has huge horns. He's all like kind of metalish. And these guys look really amazing too. They just keep turning, and when they look at you, they point their crossbows. And they also charge them. It makes a noise as well, which is really cool. You can see the beast is quite large. It's probably a little bit slightly larger than like a large magma cube, and slightly smaller than like a ghast. Here you can see the Pillagers. They are really accurate with their shots. I mean, they're just, like, they're almost hacking. They're shooting so fast. Let's try to look at the Pillager beast. Look at this thing. Look at him. He's like, holy moly, he can like really go after you. Just two hit you, just kill you. The beast has some unique characteristics as they can destroy leaves. This allows them to move throughout the areas such as the different forests as well as the jungle. So when he walks, he can choose to break leaves. If I just push him, you see he broke all those leaves. He also can destroy crops. So if like a beast would come over top of this, you can see he destroyed the crop without having to jump. This is just part of their raid thing, so when they go to a raid, they can like destroy the crops, as well as trying to get to that actual village, they can destroy the leaves in the way. So you can easily go through jungles as well as really dense areas to get to different types of villages without having to try to traverse the different leaves. When you kill the Illagers, they have a chance of dropping their crossbow as well as some emeralds. When you kill the beast, he's just going to drop his saddle for now, but I'm guessing to give him a unique drop eventually. For now, in the game, the only way you can get Pillagers as well as the Illager Beast is through spawn eggs. You can see what their spawn eggs look like. They kind of look like them, kind of a really darkish color. For now, both the Pillager as well as the Illager Beast are not implemented into the game naturally, so the only way you get them is through the spawn eggs. But eventually they're going to add them so that they can come in and raid villages. And the way that they're going to implement them is they said that the player will be able to pretty much call them, so you won't have to worry about them coming in and attacking villages unless you do a very specific thing. And the Pillagers, as well as the Illager beasts, love to kill villagers, so you can watch them shoot them as well as try to chase after them. And if they accidentally do friendly fire, you can see that it doesn't really matter. And it's a cool move that the beast will do is when he will extend his head outwards. And you can see that he actually has an extra kind of box inside of him between his main outside one and this one. This is kind of his neck that extends and does that really cool attack feature. They came out with the new crossbow, which I showed in Minecon, which is really awesome because first thing you do is you charge it by pulling it back. Now the thing is primed and it's ready to shoot. Now you can walk around like this, you can kind of sprint like this and jump. It's all ready to shoot, and then you just have to do is aim and then right click again, and this will fire off it. So here we go. Boom, hit it. Really powerful as well, as you can see. And just as before, depending on which arrow is first in your hotbar, you can hit something and then it'll give it that effect. So right now, you can see I have the regeneration before the normal arrow, so use that regeneration arrow. Another cool feature of the crossbow is that you can put fireworks in your offhand and then charge your bow, and then there will be a firework in it. You can see it looks a little bit different. And then you can launch that firework. I can launch it this way. You can kind of see that projectile goes in that direction you point. Then the rocket will explode once it gets to end. So this can actually be used for damaging systems since rockets do damage. So if I throw it on the ground here, and if I stand here, it does explosion and it does damage to me. So you can kind of like launch, pretty much like a grenade launcher, launch it over there towards your enemy and then do some damage to them. And it does follow the projectile. So if you shoot it sideways, like across the water, you can see I can launch it through the water. There are 3 new enchantments to go with the crossbow. We got Piercing, which goes up to level 4. We got Quick Charge, which goes up to 3. And we got Multi-Shot, which is a level 1 enchantment. So with the Piercing one, if you have multiple mobs lined up and you shoot, you can hit multiple of them at once. You see how the first one took the most damage and died, and the next one didn't take as much damage? So the Quick Charge enchantment allows you to charge a bow much quicker. So let's see how long it takes for a normal bow to charge up. And then let's see how fast it takes for this one to charge up. Almost about half the time. And the last enchantment, multi-shot, shoots multiple shots all at once. So let's charge this up, and then let's fire at this one. You can see that it shot 3 shots off. So you would want to try to attack something that's kind of in a cluster, maybe a group of zombies. If it's too spread out, it's not going to reach other mobs. So you can't have piercing as well as multi-shot on the same crossbow. The game doesn't allow you to do that. So you can get like multi-shot with quick charge, or you can get like quick charge with piercing. Another cool thing about the crossbows is that you can like get one powered up, and then you can go to like another one and charge that one as well. And now you have 2 charged crossbows, and they even show up being charged in your hotbar. So you can see how this one's not charged. And then anytime you want to, you can just fire them both off. So you can probably see people that are going to feel like the whole inventory full of crossbows and just start firing them all off. Let's give this a try. Fire, fire, fire. Ooh, I missed that guy. But you can see how it can be really fast. There's also some new advancements to go with the crossbow, like shooting it, using it to kill 2 phantoms just with a single shot, and killing 5 unique mobs with the crossbow shot, as well as giving the pillagers a taste of their own medicine by killing a pillager, I'm guessing, with the crossbow. The crossbow is slightly stronger than that of a normal bow and shoots a little bit further, but the durability isn't as high. As you see, it only has 326 durability. Using the multi-arrow enchantment on the crossbow only uses 1 arrow, but the arrow gets split 3 different ways, so you don't have to worry about using more arrows. So with the piercing arrow, it can go through multiple mobs all at once, and the number of mobs it can go through depends on the level. So level 4 can go through 5 different mobs. This is the recipe to make a crossbow. So it doesn't cost a whole lot. As you can see, it's going to take about 2 ingots, 1 to make the tripwire, and a couple of different strings and some sticks. But this is actually something you could make early in the game, and it's quite powerful. They added a whole bunch of stairs, as well as slabs, and even some wall variations. So we got the smooth variations of the different stones. These are the 1.8 stones over here as well, stair as well as slab variations. Then we got some of the ones that we had in some variations, but not others. So we got like the mossy stone brick. Here's just the mossy. And then here we got the normal stone. This isn't like the smooth stone. So this is like the smooth stone, but this is different than the slabs that we're normally used to. Then to go with the normal nether brick, we got the red nether brick. And there is a raw form of granite, diorite, and andesite. And they also added in the endstone brick, having a slab. And now they made a smooth variations of quartz, sandstone, both red and normal. And these are really cool because what these do is the smooth variations, you put 2 on top of each other, there is no little line. So they look completely smooth and the same on all sides. So you can see what each of these look like. They also came out with a quartz variation of the smooth, but I can't tell the difference. So this one is smooth, and this one is just your normal quartz slab. So it says quartz slab, it says smooth. And here's your smooth quartz stairs versus your normal quartz stairs. So I can't really tell the difference, maybe just when it comes to crafting them. So there's 14 new stairs as well as 14 new slabs, and they also came out with 12 new walls. So here we got the nether brick to go with like the nether fence brick walls, which are really cool. Like you think, well, of course there has to be brick walls in the game, so it's really nice that they came out with those. And then you got the prismarine wall to go with the prismarine theme. There's no other type of prismarine besides this one. Then they got both sandstones, the red as well as the normal. And then they got the different types of bricks. So we got the mossy brick, we got the normal brick wall, and then we got the different types of 1.8 stones that are in the raw form. They also came out with a red nether brick wall to go with the normal nether brick wall. And there's an end stone variation of this one. So it seems like for the walls, there's kind of like the sandstone stone theme going on with them, and you don't see them like in like the quartz variations. And they did say that they're trying to keep a similar theme when making the walls, so that there's just not walls of everything. They also added in the really nice smooth stone blocks into the game, so you can get them now in survival. The way to do this is just by smelting up stone, and you get these smooth stone. Then you can take these into a crafting grid, and you can craft them up, and then get the old smooth stones if you want to get those. There still is no stair variations of the smooth stone. And there's also the smooth quartz, red, and normal sandstones. You get these the same way, just by throwing them into the furnace and then smelting up. So here's a normal red sandstone, and you just stick that into your furnace, and then it's going to smelt it up into smooth. Same goes for the other ones. So you can see like a quartz block turns into a smooth quartz. They also changed the recipe up for the different types of walls. So you can see like the red walls would be like that, that's normal. But if you would do this type of thing before, you would produce fences, and now it produces walls. So if you want to make fences, you can see now it's going to take some bricks on either side, and those are the blocks, and then in the center it's going to be the item bricks. So this is how you can make the fences. Very similar, you kind of think of like the sticks and like the planks on the other side that you see in normal fences. So that's going to be a new recipe for those. They changed recipe up, so now you can go ahead and color different types of carpets if you want to. So here you can see I put brown dye in with a bunch of white carpet around, and it can make 8 brown carpets. And this way you don't have to first color the wool, then turn the wool into carpets. So that's really nice. They did the same thing for stained glass. As you can see, you can go ahead and craft it up by dyeing it. But you still can't do this with colored carpet or colored stained glass. It has to start out by one that's either white or, like for the glass, it has to be clear. They added new variations of the sign. So we normally just had the oak one, which is this one here. And you notice how the bottom piece was like the log variation. This is kind of like the plank variation. You can see they did that for the other ones. So here we got spruce, we got birch, acacia, jungle, as well as dark. You notice how the wording on them is in white text, which is really easy to read. I always had trouble reading the text on these things. I always had to get really close, or else had to like turn my FOV really sharp, really small, so just so I could read the text. But here you can read this from way back here. They came out with 3 new flowers in the game. So this one here is called a cornflower. This one is called the lily of the valley. This one's called wither rose. This one's really cool because it put out these particles, which is really crazy. Oh look, if you get close to it, it gives you the wither effect. Oh, that is cool. This wither rose is pretty cool since it's kind of like spikes. As when mobs get on it, they just start taking wither damage. So that's going to be a cool way to make new types of mob farms. So if you would take these different flowers and put them in a crafting grid, the wither one will make black dye. The cornflower will make blue dye, which is really nice because before you had to get from lapis, which was non-renewable, unless you trade tons of villagers. And the lily of the valley will produce white dye. And notice that these dyes are different since they are separated from the items that they used to have before. So before you would use something like ink sacs, and you can see that if you stick ink sacs in here, you can produce black dye. This way they can make flowers that will produce dye. Otherwise, you always had to resort back to like ink sacs or like lapis or like bone meal to produce these different colors. So it's really nice that they're separating the items away from the color dyes. So in total there was 4 different items that they converted over into dyes. You can also see that they did the brown as well. The way you get the wither rose in survival is by having the wither kill some mobs. So here I put down a chicken. You see when the chicken dies, it has a chance of dropping a wither rose. There you see it died, and it just dropped this wither rose right here. So in my con they talked about the bamboo, and they showed it. So here's a sprout of it, really small. And if you have a couple on top of each other, you can see it grows up like this. Hey creeper. And pretty much what these are used for, if you take them to like a crafting grid and you have like a bunch of them, you can see you can turn them into sticks. So it takes 2 of them and you can make a stick. So that's a cool way to get sticks, but they're going to have a lot more uses, I'm guessing, as well. And these will naturally spawn in a variation of the jungle called the bamboo jungle. Some other things about bamboo is that they can show up in 2 different new biomes in the jungle. They grow between 12 and 6 blocks tall, and you can bone meal the bamboo and it'll either grow 1 or 2 blocks. So there you see it grow 2 blocks. And you can use a sword on the bamboo and it will instantly break it. Or if you use your fist on it, you can see it takes a little time to break it. Bamboo can also be used to cook stuff in the furnace, and it'll take 4 of them just to cook 1 item. And they can also be placed inside of flower pots, which look really cool because they have like little extension coming off of them. And bamboo can be naturally found in shipwrecks as well as jungle temples. They added pandas into the game, which are pretty cool. You can see there are some different personalities. Like here's one that kind of has like the grumpy eyes. There's one that kind of has a snotty nose, like he has a green nose. You can see there's some rare ones. There's a brown one. Here's the one with a snotty nose. Here's one with kind of like the pink lips. So they can be some different variations. There's also just some plain ones. And you can also see that they love their bamboo. And if you click on 2 different ones, they will breed just like any mob in Minecraft. And then they will produce a baby. And you can even use the bamboo to try to increase the growth of them and make them large quicker. They do some pretty cool things, like you can see they roll on their backs, or some of those roll around on the ground. There's one that's doing some tumbles, which is pretty cool. And you will be able to find pandas in the bamboo jungle biome. And if you give pandas some food to eat, like bamboo, you'll see he'll sit up and start eating his bamboo. Just chewing on it. What the heck is with his head? What the heck? He did not like me getting close to his baby. Yeah, they all have different personalities. Some will attack you if you get too close to babies, and some won't mind so much. Pandas will also eat bamboo as well as cake if you throw it on the ground. So if you throw it, they will eventually pick it up. You hear them picking it up. They also can pick up cakes. You can see when they do pick it up, they start eating on it, which looks pretty funny. There's one eating bamboo, and there's one eating cakes. When you kill a panda, it will drop a bamboo shoot. And you can see that that shoot quickly got picked up by these pandas here, which ate it. Pandas will most likely spawn as a passive mob, therefore you could make a passive mob farm and kill off the pandas and get the bamboo, or you could just probably make a bamboo farm by letting the bamboo grow up and then breaking it off with pistons. They say that pandas are pretty silly and the babies are even more silly. Look at this baby here, he's trying to chase his tail. The panda spawn egg is black and white, and to be frank, there is quite a few eggs that look very similar, that are kind of like the whitish, blackish color, and it might be kind of confusing. I wish they would kind of give a little bit more variation. They came out with a new block, which is the Loom, as you can see here. It looks pretty cool, and it faces player. I guess you're supposed to work from this direction. Looks just like a Loom. This is used for your banners, so instead of having to try to figure out which way to place in different stuff, you make banners, you just place in here, and then you place in the die that you want, and then it shows you all the different designs that you can choose from. So I choose like this one, and then it's kind of like a crafting table. You get the output over here. You put it back over here again, put some die in, and choose your design. And then there is also this area here where you can put these banners in. These are banner patterns. So you got like a flower pattern. This does kind of like what the old patterns used to do. Here's a creeper charge pattern. So then if you would have this plus a color, then you can get a creeper face on it. So to get these different type of banner patterns, you first have to craft them. Maybe they're also in the world. So here's like a banner crafter for creeper, just paper and a creeper head, and you get this banner. And then you can turn around and use that banner in the loom to make the creeper face banners. And then you can always throw that one in with some more colors and you can add to it. So you can just keep doing the same things that you used to do with banners, which is pretty awesome. And this way you don't have to like go look up exact recipe of where to place in the different dies just to make a banner have different shapes. So by using these banner patterns, you don't have to worry about losing the actual thing. Like if you used a notch apple to make this banner, if you would take out the banner, you can see you still got the pattern. So you can keep using your same creeper head or like your same notch apple to keep making more banners. To build the loom, all you need is 2 string as well as 2 planks. So here's a shipwreck, and if you go inside, you can see that they added some of the loot into here. So you can see the new bamboo, and you can also see some of the new textures of different things. But they also produce this new item, which is called a suspicious soup. And when you eat the soup, it will give you a different type of effect. So I'll go ahead and eat it and see what type of effect it gives me. So this gave me poison so suspicious soup is going to have an effect. Here you can kind of see, I'm looking at the data of this. There's one, tells the effects, durations, how long it's going to last. This is effect ID number 19B. So you can look that up and see what type of effect it's going to be. But different types of soup will give you a different effect. And there's really no way of knowing what type of effect it's going to give you until you eat it in survival, because you won't be able to have access to this type of data. They made this item sort of a secret Easter egg to find in the snapshot, since they didn't add it into any of the food slots. And it kind of makes sense because it does have a special effect, and it's called a stew. I kept calling it soup. A lot of times I call soups and stews the same thing. So the stew effects last about 14 seconds, and just happen to get poison. You can also see they have reworked some of the images. The suspicious stews can be crafted up. So if you have a bowl, some brown mushrooms, some red mushrooms, and a type of flour. So if you have either wither flower will give you the wither effect stew, lily of the valley will give you poison, cornflower will give you jump boost, tulips will give you weakness, Elium will give you fire resistance, azure will give you blindness, daisy will give you regen, poppies will give you a speed boost, and dandelions or orcas will give you saturation. So if I just eat one of these saturation ones, you can see the potion effect. It doesn't currently have an image. They added a few community asked suggestions, and this is a chance of leaves dropping sticks when broken. So right there you see we got some sticks out of the leaves, which is kind of cool. Reminds you of some modded, but that's a nice addition. They also added so that you can break off the flowers of a chorus plant just by shooting them. So if I shoot them, you can see I just broke off the flower. Sometimes you can break off 2 if they're really close to each other. And that way you don't have to try to go really high up and break them out by hand. They also added that dead bushes can be used as a fuel source now. And beet stew as well as rabbit stew is now a shapeless recipe, so don't matter where you stick it, it'll still work out. Now they also have it so that strays, when they kill a creeper, they will also drop a music disc instead of just being skeletons. They added a new cool redstone feature, which is if you have a dispenser with a shear in it and you power it and there's a sheep in front of it, it will shear the sheep for you. Also notice that it does some durability to the shears. This is going to be a really cool way to make automatic wool farms, so you don't need the player to be there, although the sheep will have to eat grass to make the wool grow on it again, and the player needs to be there for the grass to grow and replenish. They implemented the improvement for the redstone wire when depowering it, so it's not going to create as many updates as before, which is really going to help out with large redstone contraptions that use a lot of redstone dust turning on and off. They also improved the fish AI as well as the mob spawning that they were working on in 1.13.2. They added more features to the book and quill, so you can go in there and you can type in stuff, and then you can go into the different lines and type in stuff, and you can go back and like edit it, so it's just really cool. And then you can even use your mouse cursor to like highlight stuff and then go over it. So a really cool way of making books a lot more useful. And make sure if you're using books, just don't hit the escape button, otherwise it won't save. Make sure you hit done, and then that way you can come back and edit it some more, and then of course you can always sign it, and then this will finish it off, and you won't be able to edit from there on. They have changed the way that stuff is categorized. As you can see here, it says like the name of the item, then it says what kind of category it sits in the creative menu, then it says what kind of group it falls underneath it. This is a small flower group, and then it says the Minecraft name for the item. So here you can see like the wool, how it says it is a Minecraft wool. It's kind of that category. Let's go with something like a slab. You can see it has multiple categories. It has slabs as well as wooden slabs. So it fits in like 2 different categories there. That way, and this is used for commands to easily find that section. They added some new buttons here in the game menu. You can see that there is give feedback as well as report bugs. So you click on give feedback. It'll come up with a page saying if you wanted to go to their website, and this website is the Minecraft feedback website. And on that website, it's like a post forums where you can add post, vote on them, as well as comment on them, which is pretty cool. If you click on the report bugs, it'll redirect you to the bugs.mojang.com. This is the official webpage that Minecraft will allow you to report bugs. So that's a nice way so people in-game can see that they can report bugs and they can find that website. Because for a lot of new people, they probably don't even know about that website. They added a whole bunch of new types of commands and way that commands are being handled in the game. And they look like they're really getting set up so that people can really customize their worlds with different types of things. They're working on a lot of big parts of the world, such as the engine, as well as lighting, and a lot of stuff that really makes the game up. So hopefully this will really improve performance. But they say right now that they're really just adding some new features, and then they're going to come in and increase the performance a little bit later on. So there may be some wonkiness with the snapshots. So much crazy stuff in the very first snapshot of 1.14. I'm so excited for the snapshot as well as the entire version. Plus they're going to come out with like the villager AI and well as the cats are still to come, as well as the villager changes, and also implementing a lot of this stuff for survival. I covered the majority of all the new stuff, but there was also a whole bunch of different bug fixes as well as command features that if you want to check out, I'll put a link down in the description too. Also, I'll go into more detail about all these different things and really cool things that you can do with it in future videos. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And of course, we're going to have the live stream tonight. So be sure to check out the live stream. If you got time, come by, say hi. I really appreciate that, where we will be really diving down into all the different details of this, which should be a whole bunch of fun. So if there's anything I missed, be sure to tell me down in the comments, and I'll try to cover it in a future video, as well as go into more detail about each of these things. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and if you found this interesting, show me a like and share this with others. If you'd like to see future snapshots, as well as crazy farms that I use this content to make, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button. And if you see something that I missed, be sure to tell me down in the comments. Bye-bye!